Hello, so welcome back. You're listening to me, Pete Donnelly, and I'm now joined with Harriet. Hello, how are we?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. All the better for speaking to you now,
Yeah,
even even when you're in a complete different continent, but we make it work. The joys of
exactly.
technology. So I kind of wanted to go straight back, like to the very start with you with this. What made you like get into music? Because from what I've seen, you're obviously quite a creative person with like painting and stuff for your education. But what was it about music that made you like go, yeah, that's cool?
I don't know. I think I always liked performing. I think I grew up uh doing theater and I did ballet for 10 years and um
Nice.
I just always loved music. I remember my grandma played piano and I loved to like dance to whenever she would play. Um, so I don't know. I think as soon as I found out like Taylor Swift existed and I started getting guitar lessons, I was like, this is my groove. Um, yeah, music's awesome. I feel like I've been doing it for so long, like just on my own. Um, it's just like it comes like naturally and it's like very soothing and it's very fun for me.
Brilliant. So would you say that Taylor Swift is like an influence of you at all? Because obviously you're kind of like folky indie, and obviously Taylor's, as we all know, quite folk. Was she quite a
Mhm.
pivotal thing for you then in the
Yeah, for sure. I was like really wanted to be Taylor Swift when I grew up when I was younger. I'm also like super tall like she is, so she was kind of like my girl and I looked up to. Um yeah, she was definitely a big part of like my growing up experience around music, but I'm from Texas, so I grew up with like the Dixie Chicks and like country music, so I think she played into that as well. Um but yeah, I think I'm more of like a big fan. I wouldn't say she's as much of an influence for me now. Um, I think I really admire her career. Um, but yeah, I'm more of like a Phoebe Bridgers, Lana Del Rey kind of like those are kind of like the people that I kind of look up to for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my work, I guess.
Amazing. We were just saying just before we started, you are currently like you're on tour at the moment, aren't you? You're
Mhm.
supporting Joan in
Yeah.
America. Am I right in saying so it's only the tonight will be the third date of the tour?
Yep.
Brilliant. How's it been so far then?
It's been really fun. I think I'm looking forward to this tour to just like gain more like practice. I think this is my third tour ever. So I think it's just going to be kind of like boot camp for me and also like a great opportunity and like a great experience and like everything that comes with touring. But I think there's like 20 shows. So I think it's going to be a big like learning curve for me. And yeah, it'll be like summer camp. It'll be
Summer
awesome.
camp. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's only your third tour ever. So do you think you'll definitely learn a lot more about touring then? So what
Yeah.
is obviously the whole point of doing music is so you can perform shows and stuff, but what is it for you that you enjoy the most about playing live and touring, seeing different cities, and playing to new crowds? What is it for you that really like really sells it for you, if that makes sense?
I don't know. I think like what's my favorite part of touring, I guess, is your
Yeah,
question.
in a nutshell, yeah.
Um, yeah, I think I don't know. I love traveling. The travel is awesome. I love like seeing new places and being in new places and kind of scoping it all out. I think it's interesting to see like the different fan bases because I've only obviously ever been like an opener act. So I'm pretty new to all this. But yeah, I liked seeing the different like fan bases and like how they like the different basically like communities of like fans from the different artists that I've opened for. I think it's interesting and it says a lot about like the music and the artist and the brand. And I just find that really fascinating. Um, but yeah, I think I mean, my favorite part is probably just like thinking about all of it. I, I like, I love obviously performing and like going on stage and doing the gig is awesome.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite part is more just like watching, like watching it all happen and like thinking about it and
As in,
analyzing.
yeah, I get that completely. So I didn't actually realize that you'd only mainly supported just being like supporting on tours, but for Tony to have like three tours, obviously quite some big acts to actually be supporting. Like obviously you got Girl in Red, now you're on tour with Joan.
Mhm.
What do you think it's really useful for you to be able to take stuff away from touring with like such well experience of like more advanced in their career than you? So are you able to take a lot of things away from that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I learned a ton. I mean, I learned so much from every artist that I go on tour with because it's like I said, like the fan base that comes to the shows and that shows up and like it's just it speaks to who the artist is. And I think it shows when they like perform or when they like are just people. Um, yeah, I mean, I definitely learned. I love touring because I love to learn. I think it's like a big opportunity for me to learn, and I love to learn, especially in this industry. I love to like soak it all up and just analyze it and think about it and learn and figure out like what because I think a lot of it when I was starting, I just like didn't really know what I wanted to do. And like all these like big people were asking me like big important questions like who are you? What's your sound? What's your brand? What do you want to do? What's your 10-year plan? I had no idea like what my options were or like what I wanted to do or what I like what it could look like. So I think
Yeah,
I don't know. I just like to take it all in and yeah, I like to take it all in.
brilliant. Well, it's good that you are taking it in. What would you say would be like your biggest lesson you've learned from touring?
It honestly just like it teaches me so much about myself. Like I I thought I was very extroverted, but I find out I'm like really introverted and like really like just like I said, like I like to like think and just like watch and like be quiet and like not talk to everyone. I've also learned I love I don't know, the whole touring process, you figure out what system works well for you and what doesn't work well for you, and you figure out which team you want around you.
Let's go on to the EP then. So your debut EP has just arrived. Well, a couple of weeks ago, back end of April. How's the reception been? Like, what's this the past 3 weeks been like for you since it's came out?
It's been great. I've been like waiting to put this out. It feels like it's been forever since like when I wanted to originally put this out to when it came out. So I'm very like I feel a lot of emotions around this release, like relieved and happy and proud and excited and annoyed and mad and scared and like I just feel a lot around this also because it's my first kind of big release. I guess the reactions have been like amazing. So many people keep like random people will comment on like my TikTok or something and be like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, thank you. I don't know you. That's awesome. I think a
That's
lot
so
of the
lovely.
responses I've gotten are like it's so coming of age, which I didn't really like see before, which is interesting. But I so see that also now. I think it's been interesting to have like other people's comments on it because it turns it into a different thing, which is what I wanted. And it's awesome.
Yeah. Are you finding that people are able to like relate to you and then in these like the lyrics that you're releasing and stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah.
Well, it's nice to see that it's getting a good reception then.
Mm,
Um,
definitely. Hmm.
what's have you got anything in mind for what's next? Is it maybe an album or is it another EP or are you just or are you already sitting on a new project and you're just being really secret about it?
No, I really don't have anything. I want to do an album for sure.
Sick.
Uh, I don't know if that's like for sure what's gonna happen, but like I definitely want to do that at some point. Um, yeah, but I'm taking it pretty slow. I think I like really wanted this EP to get out, and like I had a bunch of songs that I wrote like so long ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. And so I think it was like me just like pushing all of like my best work together for like my first kind of release. Obviously, I wrote some of it intentionally for the EP, but I don't know, it felt very much so like like a meta introduction to like me as an artist, I guess. Um, so yeah, I want to do more of like I have no idea. I just want to do an album.
Just an album of some
Be
form,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So I've just got the one final question for you, which hopefully you can dive into a little bit. So what is the songwriting process for you?
Um, it kind of depends. I typically find like chords that I like first, like a chord progression. Um, yeah, typically, and then I like write lyrics over that, and like
Okay.
a melody over that. Like lyrics
Yeah.
and melody usually are like happening at the same time, and then chords are usually the tricky part for me because I'm not like a guitar connoisseur or anything. Like I'm not awesome at guitar. Um, my friend's behind me and she just said that I lied, which is awesome.
I was gonna say I
Um,
think you're putting yourself down a little bit there.
yeah, well, no, I'm mainly doing that because I run out of chords to use, and like I always feel like I'm running out of like new chords that I could use or that I would like for like when I write a song.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's typically like I find like a melody to go off of, basically, and then I just kind of go from there. The words I don't really worry about as much. Like I really like to just write it and like the first draft kind of be like close to the final. Like I like to
Amazing.
just keep it pretty pretty rough and honest. I like how like Lana Del Rey just kind of writes whatever she wants to say. Like yeah, I think I'd like it to be like more casual, but I don't know. That could also change. That's just kind of how I've been doing it, I'd say.
Amazing.
Or sorry.
No, no, go, go.
I'll pick like a theme of something. Like for Goodbye Texas, I like knew I wanted to write about Texas. So like I wrote half the song in one sitting, and the other half I was like, I'm gonna make this all about Texas and like do a Texas song. And then yeah, for the same thing happened with like Johnny Got It Right and like Fucking Married. Yeah. I'll write that's the other process where I'll like write half the song and I'm like, this is really good. And then I just like hone in on like the theme of it.
Amazing. So it sounds like you don't sit on songs for very long. Like, is it quite a quick process when you write? Or
Um, yeah,
obviously
it
it
can
will vary, but it seems
yeah,
like
it
it's quite
can
a
be.
short one.
Yeah. If I sit down and like I really like the idea, I can like finish it and crank it out. Um, Sometimes it's not the case. I mean, it's always different, but I think um yeah, it just depends. Like I right now I'm going back through a bunch of like old stuff that I wrote and I'm like bringing it back up and like finishing that. Um, but yeah, I'm just it just depends, I guess. But yeah, it's typically quick.